Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. There is no second best live YouTube stream to talk about markets. See, I got it right that time, guys. But welcome. Happy green morning to those who celebrate. I'm Tommy. You guys also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Tucker, Chef Jackus, and of course, Max. Welcome to you guys as well. I guess we have a bit of a shortened week because I want to say the market closes like halfway through the day tomorrow. And then obviously we have Friday off, but rest assured, we're making sure to sandwich some decent volatility into this shortened week within a summer that has been obviously just full of a lot of compression. But it does look like we are finally priming for potentially more volatility, potentially a trend break. We can only hope, guys. But before we can kind of talk about what that means for the market, what assets are probably going to be moving and obviously everything else in between. I mean, you see the screen, right? You know what to do. You know to smash the like button. And if we can't smash the like button on a day where everything on my watch list is green, except for the VIX, which, I guess you could also consider that to be green as well when you think about it. But if we can't smash the like button on a day like today, then when can we? Let's run that like button up, guys. We haven't really pestered you for it here in a bit, but obviously conditions are turning up potentially. So if you could do your part as well, we will be, as always, very, very appreciative. But yeah, let's talk about the market. Let's talk about these big green candles that we're seeing. I mean, obviously equity markets have been very strong. But really, it's kind of like the same consistent levels of strength for the last few weeks in the sense that they've just been up, 0.5% to 1% almost every single day. But at the same time, we haven't quite seen that follow through into crypto. Some people say, oh, why is crypto lagging equities? Well, something that we've kind of been discussing on this show is, well, Bitcoin actually probably led this move that we're seeing in equities right now, given that it's been consolidating. Not necessarily in price discovery, but basically at all-time highs here for the last few weeks. Equities are just now entering price discovery, right? So they're kind of catching up to Bitcoin, I would say. The trick is going to be, okay, what direction is Bitcoin going to break from this compression that we're forming at range highs? It has been a topic of much discussion over the last few weeks by bulls and bears. But yeah, right now, today, we're getting a green candle. Could this be a potential higher low within the range before we break higher? We're seeing, I think, some outsized strength from Ethereum today, from certain altcoins, which, isn't a complete surprise, right? Given that they were kind of down a little bit more earlier in the week. But I do view it as a positive that, we had our Monday pump. We had our Tuesday mean reversion. And now on Wednesday, the market is looking like it wants to move higher. So we're going to feel out how that looks like for the rest of the week. Obviously, nothing is confirmed until Bitcoin breaks back into price discovery. But should Bitcoin do that, you probably will start to see, in my opinion, ETH outperforming, altcoins outperforming. And of course, if this breaks down, which, maybe we discuss on the show as well, because that is still a possibility, we'll have to, have some contingency plans in place just in case. But right now, the market is green. The market is pumping. There are really so many signs within equities, and I just think throughout the landscape when you're assessing crypto, that point to tailwinds coming in for the market here over the next few months. So I definitely want to highlight that as I open the mic to everybody else. I mean, are we seeing some of these tailwinds finally impact price? Is this just more kind of the same ranging that we've seen this summer? What do we think, guys?
I mean, I'm looking at just the chart right here, and I kind of agree. Like, I think you have Bitcoin and ETH still sitting below, well, for Bitcoin, all-time highs. ETH, of course, is below all-time highs. But just looking at that S&P chart, right, like, I don't know whether I think they haven't put in that last S&P move yet, right? Because, like, I guess we should really just talk about Bitcoin because ETH is not quite close to that all-time high, of course, but you know what I mean? Like this price action, right, was the same as this. And then equities are now putting in a leg above So I'll just draw this out. Like, I don't know that crypto has put that move in, like they've moved down together, they moved back up together, but I don't think we've seen this move out of Bitcoin quite yet. Does that make sense, Tommy? Like,
yes, I see what you're saying. I mean, I think when we look at, Bitcoin, ETH, the S&P, they're kind of they put in consolidations at different parts of their structure, right? But what we can discern is that at least in equities, these structures continue to break higher, not just in the S&P, but I know Jack is going to mention the Russell later on this show, so I won't steal his thunder. I think the important thing is that we're seeing these consolidations in equities break higher, even if they're not necessarily all exactly correlated. But I do want to highlight, I mean, Bitcoin made the first beeline towards the highs. I tend to think it might end up leading equities on maybe a more ferocious move higher if we're going to get one. But I mean, it's like you said, Tucker, we could already be underway with that move in equities.
This is a good point too, I guess. Like, this move in equities did not get to all-time highs. In Bitcoin, you did, right? So
yes,
that's important to note, of course. But
not to steal a word, Tucker, if you have any more, but this is something I've been saying for a while, that this is a huge paradigm shift. We've never had in history BTC reaching new all-time highs before SPX in terms of major multi-month swings. It's always been SPX hitting new all-time highs first, and I think this shows the major fundamental shift for the big guys. Retail's not interested, obviously. So in this sense, SPX is just now catching up onto Bitcoin, not the other way around, actually. And to me, this closure of SPX above new all-time highs confirms the continuation of its bull market. And obviously that doesn't mean there will not now there won't be a pullback, but it's a confirmation. It's a confirmation for, in my opinion, like the next year or two of a bull market for SPX and therefore crypto as well.
Equities are a machine, man. I mean, I will
and
be
as
the
Louis
first
says,
I'll be the first to admit that I did not expect equities to recover. It's exactly what they did. In hindsight, it makes perfect sense. Obviously, you had tariffs coming down the pipeline; they couldn't have possibly been priced in so quickly. Even with that said, we had a very scary drop, led to a lot of FUD. Obviously, the VIX was very elevated, and all of those things kind of fueled this rally that we're seeing in equities. I think what I'm interested to see now is, is the S&P about to consolidate up here for potentially a few weeks or few months rather? It's really kind of funny because a scenario that I outlined to people in our Discord, obviously members on the team, I would say for equities, it's kind of played out to a T. Have I played it correctly? No, I would not say I have played it correctly. I played the downtrend probably correctly, but this vol event into potentially a V recovery and then obviously QE potentially starting. I kind of got diverted off that thesis a little bit by all of the tariff news and the FUD in the market, which I guess is fair because that's just how markets are. But with that said, kind of that bias heading into the beginning of the year was, okay, after that's completed, if we're going to start consolidating above all-time highs, you are probably looking at a melt up starting for equities in Q4. So that's what I'm watching now. I think the meat of the move locally for equities is more than likely done. But what you should start to see now, in my opinion, is some upward vertical accumulation on the S&P into Q4 for that max bullish scenario.
Well, I said this before, right? Q1 was apparently Joe Biden's stock market, and I said that Trump's stock market comes in Q3, Q4, and I think that's what we're getting.
Yeah, let me look at the Qs real quick, and then I'll pull up IWM because apparently Jackus is going to cook. So,
wait, who said that?
Tommy said that.
I just said I knew you were going to talk about IWM today.
Why?
Is it pumping today?
I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, IWM looks really good. So
mhm.
It's inevitable, Tommy. I mean, everything's falling to a place. Bears will be coping for the next year or two. It will be wonderful sight.
I mean, where is that? I mean, that's basically the same shoulder on IWM is basically the old all-time high on. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it always takes time for risk to appreciate, but you literally, I really think people are just listening to mainstream media and they just don't have a clue. What's essentially happening is, again, you are getting huge. What Trump's doing, or doesn't matter, Trump or his administration, or even if a monkey was sitting there, doesn't matter, right? What's happening realistically is that you're getting lower tax cuts. You're getting low taxes in your country for not just corporate but also individuals. This is going to boost the economy, in my opinion, huge time, because suddenly people have more money to spend. So that alone is favoring the market a lot. On top of that, he wants to, like the message to me from the bill seems to be that he wants to ease people in the US in exchange to basically tariff, or tax the rest of the world. For example, there is a speculation of higher taxes on dividends from the US for countries that the US runs deficits with, and so forth. There are other stuff like that. So, and obviously you have the tariffs and others. So in that sense, that's definitely helping the markets. On the other, they will have to run huge deficits, of course, to compensate for these easier tax conditions. And that's lots of currency creation. And I think DXY is reflecting that by dropping quite naturally, as it should. And that's also bullish for the market. And not just that, but you actually have SPX right now confirming. And I mean, the only people not flipping bullish here for the next year or so have to be just pairs who cannot afford to flip bullish, because if the market turned around, it would cost them. But the signals are there. The market is telling you, the fundamental news or things are telling you that. So yeah, the outlook is very good in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, this looks fantastic. So, I mean, let's look at some others real quick. ETH still in a range. Lovely. A little more of a downtrend, a little bit. Looks a lot like Pepe, kind of.
I think Sol is. Oh, sorry, Tucker. You were saying?
Oh, I was just saying, I don't think alts are buying this Bitcoin bid quite yet. Like Bitcoin really probably needs to clear like 110, 109, 110 for alts to believe it. Like ETH, not really buying it. Sol's not buying it. Pepe's not buying it. Some of the like on-chain stuff, sure, but like, as far as other majors go, I don't think other majors are buying it quite yet. So I'd say this high needs to get cleared, but
110 is definitely the level for the market to believe.
Yeah.
Believe.
Yeah. What were you saying though, Tommy?
I was just gonna say, I think Sol is about to head into like 155, 160 here pretty soon, and then I'm looking for it to make a more tangible decision on whether or not it actually wants to go up or not. And I think, in a sense, even though I'm expecting Sol to kind of underperform here, Sol pumping would obviously be a huge sign for these altcoins that have struggled to catch a bid for the last few months. In this Bitcoin chop, right? I mean, Bitcoin's basically trading at the highs and altcoins have just been bleeding for the last few weeks, which is why I know the sentiment's so bad in crypto. So But I mean, you kind of touched on it, Tucker. It's almost like these altcoins need Bitcoin to pump a little bit more so that they can reclaim these structures. And then ultimately the next step is going to be, okay, you need to ignite that momentum to get these things moving higher. But I mean, we know how altcoins work. That crossover tends to happen very quickly.
Indeed.
I don't hate this higher low that Sully is putting in though. You know, hopefully we'll see. But yeah, that doesn't look too bad.
I'd really like to see ETH strength pick up here pretty soon, to be honest. Given that it is further away from the all-time high than Bitcoin, you should really start to see it move against the Bitcoin pair, you know, in the bullish scenario for the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you really need to flip 2,500 with haste, with some volume.
If ETH gets back above like 2650 with acceptance, I mean, you're probably just straight lining to like 3K, to be honest.
Wait, Matt,
we can't hear you.
Oh, have you been talking?
Oh no.
Oh man. We haven't heard a peep out of you this entire time.
I'm just dropping negative alpha today, man. No one will even acknowledge me. That's crazy.
He was like, why are they all ignoring me?
Right before the stream, I was like, what's up, boys? No one said anything. And I was like, all right. And I was like, well, let's get started. No one said anything. And I was like, all right, fuck these guys. I'm just going to start it.
Yeah.
I literally saw that you are just like working out there, you know, letting us know.
Yeah.
No, I was trying. I haven't said much this show, but I like in the beginning, I was like, what's up, boys? No one says anything. And I was like, all right, I see how it is today.
I tried to mention something about it like right before we went live. I saw you moving your mouth and I couldn't hear anything. I don't know if you heard me say your name right before we went live, but that was why.
No, I didn't hear it. Oh man, I just cooked myself. All right, well, I can't believe ETH is still just sitting here. I think something has to give real soon.
Mm-hmm.
How many days it's been?
It's like 55 or something like that.
Since May 10th. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think you can use the first week, basically.
The first week. I mean,
yeah, that one. Yeah.
54 and a half. Yeah. Dude, it's crazy, man. It's like, dude, we pumped for like 2.5 days and then just
Max, are you telling me you're not opening up 50 hour scalps in this range?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
making billions of dollars.
I'm not, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend like I am and then tweet it out as if I was cleaning up this whole range because
yeah, Max, were you not doing this, bro?
Yeah. Dude, the best trading conditions I've ever seen. It's the best. Anybody who's not killing it right now, unfollow them. Like, this is the best.
Just simple.
Such obvious levels, you know. It's just so clean. How could you not see it, you know? Chimp wants to come on the show. Do we do that?
Oh man.
Maybe
later in the show.
He's never even heard of Costco, bro. I don't know if I could let him on the show.
He doesn't even know what Red 40 is, Max.
He's never tasted.
Stock is top, by the way. I just wanted to say that.
Is Costco not in England? I suppose not.
Wait, you said Costco's top, Tommy?
It's topped, yes.
Dude, should I just tweet out the StreamYard link and see who comes on today?
No.
That's a terrible idea. This is Costco. Wait, you said this is top, Tommy?
It's topped, yes.
Dude, Costco doesn't top, Tommy.
I will still be shopping at Costco. But I think if you're buying into a stock that looks like that,
dude, this is deep. This is deep value, Tommy. You wouldn't get it. It's deep value. Costco's a $10,000 stock, and you wouldn't get it. All right, fine. I'll send Chimp the link. Whatever.
What if they do a stock split 1 to 10 and it goes back to 1,000.
Yeah, study NVIDIA.
Yeah, I mean, then it won't be a $10,000 stock. Then I could get off on a technicality that 1,000 or 1,100 was still the top. I'm joking, but no, I'm not a huge fan of the way this chart looks. It was a market leader. I tend to think it's probably going to top before other industrials as well.
Tommy, she's gonna pull one of these, bro. She's just gonna
Maybe
pull one of these and just leg again.
Yeah, she will. Tucker, can you do me a favor and pull up Bitcoin on like the 4 hour when you're done with Costco?
I'm done with Costco.
the daily looks even crazier, by the
So
way.
can you do me a favor and draw a diagonal across all the highs?
Yes, just like that.
Just like that.
Basically.
I mean, we're close, guys. We're
Yeah.
close. I don't even know if we need 110. I think we just need to bust through that. I mean, 110, obviously, yes, big
110,
level, but
110.
Greedy Jackus just wants his 110. Crazy.
Don't you want 110? I want 120, man. I want 130.
Dude, I just want anything to happen, honestly. Anything.
Inverse chud.
It's just, here's the thing. People like to say that the market doesn't owe you anything. I honestly feel like in this instance, the market owes us something. Crypto has been so brutal. Like, we deserve something. You know, it does owe us something. I want meat sticks, you know?
Do I make a meme? What you think you're owed versus what you get?
No, because it's going to be painful. Yeah, the market owes me everything. That's a great comment. It does. The market owes you. When you put in as much time to this market as we have, the market owes you something, you know? I feel like by the 4th of July, we're going to be ripping. Like Independence Day. It's Liberation Day. Truly.
Wait. Isn't there on the July 9th, isn't it the day of the tariffs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably more important than July 4th in that instance.
As a European, you would say that.
That was coming.
I mean, for the markets, of course, right? Because
Jackus, there's no day more important than July 4th, brother.
okay.
Tucker, can you tell us what you plan to do on the 4th of July?
Oh man, there's a video for it somewhere, but
Does it include hogs?
yeah, it does.
Dynamite.
Tucker, over or under 4 cigars on the 4th of July?
Oh, it's got to be over. It's got to be over. You got.
I felt like 4 was light.
Yeah, you got to get your like 9:15 a.m. start the day right.
Yeah.
Then you get a lunchtime. Then you get a pre-dinner, and then the post-dinner really.
And then maybe a nightcap would take you to 5, like after fireworks.
Easily could take you to 5. Yeah.
Yeah. And how many ounces of red meat do you plan to eat on the 4th of July?
Oh,
Over or under 32?
I was gonna say right around 32. I'd say
32.
maybe just over 32 now, just for the purposes of beating 32.
Yeah, I feel like 32 is healthy. Like, but here's the thing: is if you went with like steak and eggs to start your day, I think you could easily get over 32. You know,
I was gonna say lunch and dinner £1 each, and then throw in steak and eggs for breakfast. I think
that breakfast is going to be important to get over the 2 pound mark, though. Yeah. So we do have a guest on the show before we officially welcome him. I just want to issue a disclaimer to the audience. Nothing that he says is a reflection of the panel or our company because Bitcoin. I'm not sure how this man found his way to the show. He is, in a very general, overarching sense, a liability, and I apologize in advance for anything that he's going to say that may offend you. If you do have children nearby, I would strongly encourage that you remove them from at least a 20-foot radius of your screen or audio device in which they could hear any of his language. This is a man who's never once been to Costco in his life. He's never tasted or suckled the sweet nectar of Red 40. Welcome, Chimp Phone, to the show.
Wow, what a beautiful intro. That was absolutely incredible.
Thank you, Chimp.
I couldn't have said
I'm
it
a bit
better
of a
myself,
wordsmith.
actually.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you hear me all right? Is it all good?
Yeah, we can
Perfect.
hear you great. Nice profile picture, Chimp. That's
Thank you.
horrifying. I think I saw that in a nightmare last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the picture Kraken posted, actually. It was quite nice of them to do that for me.
I have a question for you, Chimp. How can you get Kraken to reply guy you and still can't pump Sully over 500K market cap? Something's not
brother,
adding up.
I think you might want to check the chart, brother.
Is it pumping?
Of course it
No
is.
way.
Go on, Tucker, pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up. This is a huge
Dude,
day.
there's no way it's on TradingView, bro.
No, not trading view. Get it on deck screener. Come on.
You guys are just
Oh,
gonna
Chimp, it is, dude.
You
The
guys are
sleeper of the cycle, finally.
It is. It's the slowest cook of all time.
Dude, I'm still one of your top holders, Chimp, by the way.
Yeah,
I
of
did
course.
not
It's
cheat.
a very organic community. It's grassroots level.
It's a
kind of
very
thing.
organic community.
grassroots
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
great.
it's been good.
Congratulations, Chimp. I'm gonna dump my entire supply on you right now.
Whoa,
live
whoa,
on the show.
whoa.
I'm
There's
just
no
kidding.
need for that.
I'm just kidding. I would never do that.
Is that Max or Blue Candle?
It's always blue
Blue
candle.
candle.
They call him the candle. So Chimp, you did lead in the comments by saying you had some very important technical analysis to share with us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
can share my
would love
screen.
to see that.
I can share my screen if I let me see if I can actually do it. Hang on.
That's a dangerous game.
No, it's fine.
I am noticing some other Solana cats perking up this morning.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I mean, it's
That?
Well, I just think memes in
Is this
general
working?
are,
Can you
are
guys see?
showing some strength today.
Is it working? I tried to
Yeah,
present.
here,
I don't know
let's
if it works.
I think we can get you up there. Let's see.
Okay, cool.
Log up 10%. Popcat.
Oh
up
wow.
9%.
You're actually doing it. Okay.
Yeah. So this chart means quite a lot to me. It is very. I mean,
Did you
it's probably one of the
annotate
most. Sorry.
Did you annotate it?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to.
Annotated
I'm
all
ready
of
to tell you about it. I'm ready to tell you about this.
Wait, what does that say? The text is
So-
too small.
It all start. Yeah. Let me zoom in.
I don't think it makes. You might have to just make the text bigger. Oh yeah, there you
Can
go.
you see this?
Yeah, now we can see that. I think.
Okay, amazing. Right. So
ICO.
this is the
Wow.
tapestry, the Sully tapestry. I'm just going to walk you guys through this really quickly. So we had the ICO on the 22nd of July 2024. So we're actually nearing the 1 year anniversary, which is a very exciting moment for me and a lot of my a lot of the top holders. We had the Neat Wick, who's KOL. He posted about it, and we had a nice wick, but as you can see, it didn't last very long. And then we had the Sully winter. That was a very, very tough time. We lost a lot of good people during this period. The followers start to pick up around here into this up to here. This is the Blue Candle bottom. This is when Blue Candle first ran out of his first percent of tokens. But we sort of stalled for a bit. Sully AI launched. We had a chat bot on the website. It's still there. Doesn't work very well, but it's still there. And something then called the Cat Ugly around here, which caused this spike here into
I remember
kind
that
of
actually.
yeah, that was a terrible time for us. We lost a lot of good men there actually as well. This is when we initiated the friend. I don't know if you know 0xfriend.xrp or something. He's posting about Chill House quite a lot. And this is when he started posting about it, and it got a lot of attention around here into the start of May, and then he sort of switched back to Chill House, and we lost it. So this is the return to normality. But you'll notice, and I know you guys love TA, so I'll just highlight this here. This is a higher low. This is what you call a higher low on the daily.
Yeah, there's a beautiful accumulation pattern. You're right, Chip.
Yeah, exactly. Into another higher low here. I mean, this is just the start. Okay, I'll say this right now. This is just the start. We have not seen a chart.
When you say
this
just
good.
the start, what does that mean exactly?
Okay, let me just zoom out to my price targets for you.
Can you change it to market cap chart just so we can see?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
It means I've got to start again.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah, there
And
you go.
you can see very clearly the accumulation structure. Yeah, that's great.
So I'm targeting here. This is my target.
50,
this is my sell
50
point.
billion. Okay.
I think Doge is a good target. I think we have a very strong chance of hitting that. With good tailwinds, of course.
I will say the most entertaining scenario would be that Sully flips Doge. You're probably right about that. That's something that genuinely nobody would see coming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that's kind of just you know, you can't even see the chart. That's how bullish this chart is. Actually, you can't even see it. But yeah, I mean, this is setting up for a leg at least into 50 million at least. So yeah, just needed to. I mean, this is an iconic chart. Look at that. This is there's only one way to put this, and this is just community. Do you know what I mean? This is community in a chart. Do you know what I mean? There's literally no one left to sell here. There's no one left to sell up here.
Well, I'm still here as one of your top holders, so
no.
I am here to sell.
No. I'm pretty sure there's no one left to sell at this point. So yeah,
dude, look at what you just did, Chim. Look at this. I'm selling all my Wolf and Annie bags for this. Looks like, dude.
Yeah,
see,
true. How
you're hurting me.
Everyone should buy it. This is financial advice. You should buy it.
Okay, so
right, there we go.
Thank you, Chimp Phone, for the beautiful presentation. Hopefully everybody heard my disclaimer beforehand. But yeah, Chimp, happy almost 1 year anniversary. What's the official date of the 1 year anniversary?
22nd of July, I believe.
22nd of July. Okay.
That could coincide with a global Bitcoin market top, actually. So, just to warn you.
So we have 20 days until the birthday.
Sure.
That's great.
What's your views on Bitcoin? I only tuned in to come on. I want to hear what you guys are thinking because I missed all of this. Don't arrest
Chimp. Me. This is This is an interesting idea. Yeah.
No. Come on. What's the Bitcoin thoughts? I want to hear it from the horse's mouth, as the Spanish say. Come on.
Is Tucker the horse?
Who's the horse? I'm the horse.
I don't know. You're all the horse. You're the mouth. Max is the legs, and Tommy's the body, and Jackus is, well, I won't say that part, but yeah, let's go. I want to hear it.
Oh my god. I need to see this high cleared, and we need to clear this. Give me 110. We're back.
Hey, look at this legend on Twitter. His name is Michael Stacks, and he comments Michael Stacks reposted the stream.
That's so good. I love that.
That's a legendary comment. Thank you, Michael. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin really does look like it's about to just meat stick, but you become so worn down from the price action that you become very cynical of anything that looks remotely good. So I don't know. The only thing that's throwing me off is
I thought, when do we ever have a good summer? When do we ever have a good summer for Bitcoin? When does that ever happen?
I will point one out, Chimp.
2023
in the 2016-17 cycle, we had a pretty good summer.
Sorry? Say that again, 2022.
2023, Bitcoin went up like 25% in 2 days, right?
Did it?
And then it did absolutely nothing until August, when it went down 30% in 2 hours.
Yeah, I will say we had a really good summer in this cycle. It was pretty solid.
Where was summer? Okay.
It was to the left. You got to go back further.
Oh.
Like June through August was really good.
Is that right? 17 August. I mean, that's basically summer.
Take a percentage from like the August or June 1st open to like August 31st.
June 1st.
Not bad. Like not bad at all.
Yeah. Okay.
I've only just noticed one guy was like, "Get this guy off," when I was sharing my screen. What guy?
That's a 2x over 3 months. From 2,000 to 4,000.
That's pretty good, dude. I would take that percentage gain right now. Where do I?
It's not going to do that, is it? The market cap was so much lower. I bet you could come back in September and the price will be exactly the same. There's just no point. I'm bearish. You heard it here first. Chimp Phone is bearish. Exit all markets.
All right. Well, then we're cooked. I don't know what to say. It's over.
I don't know. It just feels like nothing. There's like no one here, right? During summer, everyone's on holiday and doing shit. Like, what's the point? No.
Maybe that
bring him back into the market, Chim. Bring him back into the market and then dump it on him.
I feel like the TradFi guys are away, right? But like, I don't. But
they're the only people buying.
The crypto natives don't go anywhere. We're still here.
But everyone crypto native is out of money. We all lost all our money.
That's true. That's true.
It feels like TradFi is like more important than ever to Bitcoin's price. That's my only thinking.
Well,
And
it's
that's
basically
actually like
part of
one of the more
NASDAQ now,
annoying
right?
things is I
Yeah.
here's the irony of all of it is that like last cycle was the narrative was like decentralization and like we're different than stocks and we don't want banks, right? Like think about why Bitcoin was even formed in the first place. This cycle, everybody's cheering on all these large centralized entities accumulating like pretty sure that all the ETFs own like 7% of all the Bitcoin in circulation now. And I don't even think that includes Sailor's 2.5%, right? So they're like cheering on the centralization of the, you know, of an asset in which was designed to be the antithesis of centralization. So it's a little bit kind of, you know, contradicting to the mission. Here's the thing. I'm not even poking at them because I don't care. Like, I think it was always going to be destiny where it's like you have two options, either like be centralized and have exposure to digital assets with the option to still self-custody, right? But I'm just saying a lot of these guys that I still follow from last cycle that were like rah decentralization, you know, are just like super quick to turn their back on that, where now they're just like, who gives a shit, pump my bags, you know, which is fine.
You think it's because like not crypto natives, but just like non-TradFi guys pumped Bitcoin to the full extent they could, and now it's like at a multi-trillion-dollar valuation, you literally need
Exactly.
TradFi.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it was always going to happen. Like there was
Yeah.
always going to be a merging of, you know, centralized finance and whatever we want to define crypto as, right? It was always going to happen. It had to happen.
I
right?
saw a great take on this actually earlier this week. I think that the people who, or the sellers rather, who could have ended this cycle in the past don't have the ammunition to be able to do it now in the same way. There's just
Yeah,
that
that's true.
underlying TradFi bit. I mean,
That's
there's
true.
been like unlimited sellers below or from like 70 to 110K Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's still grinding higher. And that is because of just like this passive TradFi bid that we have now, especially now that MicroStrategy is a part of the NASDAQ. I mean, you're basically saying Bitcoin is getting passive flow from boomers, you know, with every monthly rebalancing from these pensions, from whoever is bidding the NASDAQ, which is basically everybody.
I think it's also kind of sad that there's not really been too much like innovation this cycle as opposed to last cycle with DeFi and all of that.
Sully's
It kind of feels like
pretty
it hasn't.
innovative.
Yeah, apart from Sully, obviously. I just feel like the only interesting products have been Pump Fund, and I know you guys hate Pump Fund, but I think it's good.
Hyperliquid.
And yeah, no, but Hyperliquid's just a sex. Like it's literally just a centralized exchange. Like there's nothing like it's not an innovation. It's just a great product.
Is Pump Fund that different than Uniswap?
Yeah. It launches. You couldn't launch a token without thousands of dollars, and now anyone can tokenize their cat, for example.
For example, just pick anything, tokenize. Yeah.
But no, it feels like Pump Fund's the only thing that's been somewhat interesting and new, and even then, it's kind of just like it's just launching tokens. Like Uniswap didn't really even like exist properly, right, until last cycle. Where you could literally trade tons of pairs like completely decentralized and whatever, and then Aave and you know all Chainlink and all this stuff like was pretty innovative. Where it feels like this cycle's kind of like that's why I think that's why alt's been so bad as well, because I think you need ETH to pump for there to be an alt season, and it feels like nothing interesting actually happened like in the alt space.
Here's the thing: is last cycle. Okay, think about like the slow progression of like no innovation happening. Think about the ICO craze. Everything had a white paper, everything had a big promise, everything had some like utility, right? That was the pitch. Then last cycle, we saw like some actual products come about. It wasn't the ICO craze, but it was like these VC-backed projects that were basically just like better versions, quote unquote, of Ethereum, right? I guess there was some stuff outside of that, obviously, but like it became a little bit more realistic, where then it became like narrowed down to like a dozen protocols that actually did something. And then I think everybody was just kind of like, wait, we can't execute on any of this shit that we're claiming we're going to. Let's just make meme coins, right? And everybody just kind of leaned into the pontification of digitalized liquidity pools and just gave them funny names, right? They realized that they don't need to actually build something, because think about this. Think about how difficult it is to attach a $50 or $100 billion valuation to something that actually does something. That has to be an incredible product. But guess what? You could just make a meme and just be like, oh, memes are infinitely valuable, and it doesn't have to do anything, right?
Yeah.
And people realize that it's so hard to attain a multi-billion-dollar valuation with something that has utility. What out there is actually worth 50 or $100 billion? That is so much money. But guess what? Doge is, or it was.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be again. It doesn't have to do anything. It can just be.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's also the jaded thing of like last cycle, everyone just kind of, all these people that were just dumping like tokens onto retail. So that's the other thing, is people have become a lot more like averse to like this low float, high FTV stuff where you're buying into this promise, but they're actually just selling you tokens. Like the team are just selling tokens, which I guess is another reason why Hyperliquid has done so well, because they've done the opposite.
Well, I would argue that the team selling tokens was kind of like your incentive or incentivization for innovation in the last cycle, because obviously we had a lot of scams in the last cycle. I would also say that kind of coming out of that, we got to see some great products as well. You mentioned AVE. I think we're seeing capital more efficiently allocated and gravitating towards some of these better products. But I think, with that said, it's like you guys were saying, it's hard to assign these like very steep valuations to assets purely based on fundamentals in an asset class that has kind of always talked about fundamentals being a meme. Like, I think that is going to take some time for those valuation targets to get raised. But I think that the same way, that's why meme coins have performed so well this cycle, is because the market is assigning value, and you can't assign value to memes unless they start to add utility, which is why I'm always bearish on a meme coin adding utility. Like Shibarium has been, I don't think it's put in a higher high since that came out, for example.
Dude, you just shouldn't have any utility. Like, either just make a culture coin or like leave that to the professionals,
Well, there's just been no innovation on ETH at all. Like, anybody innovating, it's like a new chain, right? It's like Kita, Hype, like, whatever, some like Pump Fund, like Chimp said on Soul, or, if we want to call that innovation, right? But like nothing on ETH has changed really since 2021. Like, it's just Uniswap and Aave, and that's pretty.
Well, it has now. I mean, I think we're starting to see that rhetoric shift for the first time in years. Chimp is absolutely right in the sense that we haven't really gotten any innovation on ETH this cycle. Basically, the new DeFi stuff we got is just rehypothecation. Pendle, Athena. I guess Athena is kind of interesting, but like something like Pendle is literally just a ponzification method for DeFi. But I think we're finally starting to see the end game for ETH, which is stable coins, digital currencies potentially on ETH. And the price of ETH really doesn't matter for these things to be occurring. I think it's the interesting thing about all of it. But I think we're finally starting to see real tailwinds, because ETH innovation likely peaked in 2021 on a relative basis, but that doesn't mean that value isn't going to find ETH now, almost as if like that was an echo bubble, or that we're just coming out of an echo bubble for ETH over the last 2 or 3 years. I think the high time frame thematic for ETH is very positive, even if there's not as much innovation technically as there was in 2021. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think I agree with what you said. I think it's just difficult to attract like builders to the space. I think that's the main issue. Crypto's just got such a like stinky like reputation, and it's difficult to.
That's why they call it the digital assets nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that a long time ago, Jackus was like, you notice the shift, guys? They went from calling it crypto to digital assets, and then you don't really hear them talk about crypto anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. Like, digital assets is probably actually a better name for it than crypto. It's kind of
Bitcoin's kind of pumping, guys.
Yeah,
it is the better name, because it started. It's exactly what Mark's spoken about, that it started on this, decentralization and cryptography, right? That's where the name is from, crypto. But nowadays, it's not about cryptography. It's not about decentralization for lots of these assets. And the name digital assets makes better sense. Plus, for a normie guy, it's something totally new.
What the hell just happened? Butters literally just froze my screen.
Like imagine, right? They bought a crypto called Maker, but in this cycle, they will get to buy a new digital asset called Sky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, lucky.
Honestly,
the
though,
same
that like
thing.
it actually goes so far. Like it actually goes such a long way. I don't think people realize that. Like
Yep.
people just hate the word crypto. Like the public just hate it. So it's actually such a good thing to call it, even if it is stupid. Like it goes a long way.
Yep.
He wants to be tokenized. That's what he's telling me.
He literally just like broke my monitor almost with the way he just displayed all my text. But
I was just waiting for the, oh no, my cat attacked me. Why is my cat attacking me?
Did we get a news? Is there some, or just pumping out of nowhere just for fun?
Not every pump needs a
squeezing the
news.
shorts.
I think stocks are kind of doing good, right? I think the thing that's weird about crypto as a whole right now is it kind of feels like we are going up less than stocks go up, and if they even like start to go down, we're going to go down so much more than they are. I think anyway. Feels like not a great position to be in.
I feel it's more like SPX was catching up onto Bitcoin rather than vice versa.
Yes, yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. We do lead, so yeah, that makes sense.
Which is insane, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, did we break that Bitcoin trend line? Yeah, we did. Look at that. Max.
Well, 110K is so close now, guys. But let's not spoil it. We know it's a New York session.
We do. We do. We do.
Well, it's a Q3, right? And Q3 is a Trump stock market again. So do it. Do it.
That looks pretty good, man. Look at that. We got to chew through this, but
Is this the beginning, guys, or is this the end?
or is this? Yeah.
I'm so scorned.
I feel like Max can't feel anything anymore.
No, I can't. That's the problem. Like we could rip to 120 and I would be like, is this the beginning or is it another fake out? Like I just one more sweep of the lows. It does really look solid though, like that. And Tucker, do me a favor, draw the June month or July monthly open. Just draw a horizontal. If the low of the month is in, we are set for an awesome July, guys. Jackpot July.
Is this the open?
No. Up top.
Yeah. Oh,
up top, brother. Up top. There you go. That's the July monthly open and Q3 quarterly open right there.
Yeah.
And that looks like one hell of a bear trap to start the month. Oh my goodness. Look who just showed up. Out of nowhere.
Wow.
Dr. Will's Outlook. Will, I can't hear you. Are you with us?
What's going on right now?
There he is.
Here we go.
Look at this. Mom, Dad's home. Milk. The milkman is here.
If I don't have any sound, boys, I don't have any sound.
We hear you, Will.
Give me a
We
second.
hear you. But you don't hear us.
Oh wait, I was muted too. Yeah, we hear you, Will.
I think I'm good now.
All right,
Yeah.
there we go.
We can hear you.
Hear us?
Yeah. Let me get some lights. Give me a sec. All right, lighting check. We're good.
All right, Will, what are you seeing out there, man? Is the pump gonna stick?
I'm printing, bro. I'm printing.
Oh, I know you're printing. You print up or down, but is the pump gonna stick?
Yeah, I mean, oil is signaling that this pump's gonna likely stick. In my opinion, I think oil is definitely topping here, hitting resistance. It looks like it wants to roll. Honestly, like I've watched small cats for the past week, and they look absolutely phenomenal, man. I've been looking at smalls and mids, and they've been doing really well. Like the EL calls in the Discord is 62. We're almost at 90 right now. So we're pumping really hard on those calls. I think in addition to that, I was looking at FFAI, something else I've been kind of long into. That one looks pretty good too. Very, very bottomed. I'm kind of running that right now for at least up to that first move up. So that's another one that looks really good right now. I got 225s on it, but I think I'm going to far exceed that on those call positions. I mean, everything looks good, man. Like I can't complain. BTC itself, like it was kind of hesitating up here, but it's in a breakout structure. We're above resistance. We're kind of hanging out up there, and we broke out. Yeah, we broke out that downtrend right there specifically. That's the downtrend that a lot of people should have been eyeballing, and it looks like we're kind of breaking that. The only thing that a lot of people aren't looking at the moment are looking at, and they're continuing to use this as a bearish thesis, is they're looking at the swing high of like 2021, right, where you got the higher high and then the rollover. But you'd have to put it on the weekly for that. Yeah. And they're looking at it like it's 2021 again. It's like it's not 2021 again, guys. Like it doesn't repeat. It can rhyme, but it doesn't repeat. If you think you're going to get two double tops back to back, good luck with you. That's all I can tell people. Like I don't see the thesis behind it. I don't understand I understand the people wanting that, because a lot of people got sidelined on that low, which is really funny because we shorted down to that low and then expected reversal on it, and that's what we got. So it's it is what it is at the end of the day. A lot of people will continue. I mean, look, I even watched some of our favorite accounts that just recently got to 300 something K followers. We don't have to name names.
Who could that be?
Now they're bullish again. Oh, look at that. They said they were max short and talking about how everybody was poor. But it's the same old, shit show, pony show right now with equities and stocks. I don't know the reason for the rally, to be honest with you. There's really nothing news-wise to kind of conflate why the rally is happening.
On any given day, Will. On any given day.
Yeah, we just got to wait for the news to hit, and then we're like, oh, that's why, after the fact. But I think the important part here is to really kind of pay attention to oil. Oil and dollar are signaling a lot. Those are two of your strongest, I think, factors right now. And I think what people should be looking at is not necessarily the smallest caps, but if you're looking at equities, look at like mid caps or good companies. Like we talked about, Nike was another one too that we talked about in the Discord. Literally caught the bottom of that, and it's already broken out of the ranging formation. And I think if people were, that's not it. That's G.
Oh, I know. There it is.
Yeah. So if you throw down the weekly, and this is where I was telling the Discord to kind of bite at Nike. So scroll out a lot more. Actually, drop it on the monthly. Look at that formation on your right, and draw a green box around that previous consolidation all the way to your right. All the way to your right.
Do you mean left?
Yeah, left. I mean, yes, left, right, agnostic. But yeah, so we came right into that range, and then basically we've broken out of it, and now we're in a breakout structure. That's what I was telling people today, because some people in the Discord were like, "Hey, you think we should, open calls here?" I was like, you already missed the meat of the move. We got to look for the next play. If you're looking to follow this, don't chase these things once they start moving. which I think ideally a lot of people can do. Now, here's the thing: a lot of bears will say that structure hasn't broken out. You draw the resistance trend on top. I think you're going to break it, but again, a lot of people will draw the resistance trend just across all your highs. Just come all the way across all of them. Yeah, even if you have to come through some, it's fine. That's where a lot. You're good. You're good. Yeah, a lot of people are going to look at that as bearish, obviously, because the middle part sticks up a little bit. Bearish reversal possibly. I mean, here's the thing: even if this runs sideways, that's why you run long dated, because these will still print. These will still print. You just got to run long dated if you're unsure. I think that's what a lot of people are having a hard time with right now, is understanding that, hey, I can't run short dated calls. I need to run longer dated calls. But if these things come to fruition faster, you'll still print on them. So there's no point in being bearish on these moves. Like, Nike's a really good, really good company, a really good brand. And people got to stop looking at like who buys Nike and look at these things as established brands that are very undervalued. And again, I've been more playing with the stocks than I have with the crypto at the moment. But I think like crypto will run because you're starting to see it in stocks, right? Stocks are starting to catch a bid on the mids and lows. And I think that rotation of risk will start to move in, especially the way that Robinhood's positioning itself. Tommy, I know you know quite a bit about Robinhood. But I think Robinhood's really positioning itself to be like a leader in the equities market in general, right? They're like, hey, we don't give a shit if it's rocks in your front yard or stocks in the stock market or crypto, that was just launched by some 15-year-old kid. We're willing to throw it on our platform. We're willing to leverage trade it. And they're just wanting to run volume on everything. So when you look at it from that perspective, like Robinhood's going to pretty much frontier, this whole degeneracy
becoming a
gambling
banking app too, right? It's like they're going to attract so many young new customers. Like, I mean, man, they've got credit cards, they've got high yield savings accounts, they've got stocks, they've got crypto, they've got tokenized stocks.
Better interest rates than banks.
Dude, it's it's hard.
Yeah.
I can't imagine these banks compete. I mean, they have the same FDIC insurance, right? It's like there's no reason to bank traditionally when you could just bank with Robinhood as like a young person now. Just saying, like, they're gonna gobble up these big boys. Gobble.
The crazy part that a lot of people don't look at too, Max, is the card, man. The card is really good. I have the card, the Robinhood card.
By the way, I'm still pissed that I can't get the card. I do a ton of volume on Robinhood and I can't get the card.
How can you not get the card, bro?
It won't let me sign up for the card, man. Like, I'm on the wait list and they haven't approved it yet or like pushed it to my account. It's so annoying. But anyway,
dude, it's 3% back on everything. It's
dude, it's driving me nuts that I can't.
And any money you have sitting, you get interest on too.
Yeah, you just cash it, your cash back straight to your 4%. Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah,
it's super annoying, man. If somebody from Robinhood is listening, please reach out to me. I want that card so bad. And I want you to sponsor our show, please. Please.
Yeah, they're paying a lot for uninvested money. If you leave cash on there, it's like basically savings. Yeah, it's 4% with gold. You just got to get the gold. Yeah, and I think gold is like $5 or something.
It's $5.
Yeah, I have Robinhood Gold, but I can't get their credit card yet. I've been on the wait list for literally like since the day it came out. I don't know what the problem is, but
yeah,
I do a ton of volume on there too, bro. Like, I'm a good customer, Anyways, I digress. Will, you were saying?
Yeah, sometimes the apps glitch out a little bit. It's weird. I don't know. Like nothing's perfect nowadays. I don't know. Like I'm looking at this at this market, man. I'm just like, I have this thesis in my head: 4-year cycle, because I've been abused and hurt so many times, right? But the market just looks prime, man. It just does. It like we caught the pullback, but then after the pullback, I was like, guys, I don't think we're getting 92. I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen. Whoever said 98 was right. But when I saw ETH hit 2100, that was my low, right? When I saw Solana hit 125, that was my low. Like when my alts hit my lows, I was just like, I don't know how Bitcoin can go deeper from there because my lows have been tagged. But I don't know. Like I look at it like right now, like people should be looking at this market and be kind of very neutral with it, not too bearish, not too bullish, and just looking for opportunity, because there is a lot of opportunity too. There's a lot of opportunity, short and long side opportunity right now. The volatility is really nice. This is a fluid, volatile market that makes it easy for trading. It's hard to trade those low volume ranges. I hate freaking low volume ranges. And, you know, right now I would say arguably Bitcoin is at a low vol range, but you typically, one thing that I've got to say with that is, and actually I haven't even talked about this. I can share a screen real quick, Tucker.
Yeah,
This is kind of really a strong case for Bitcoin, at least for right now. Is you had the big vol event at the low, right, where they basically reversed the market. I mean, this is a massive vol blowout. And then you had basically volume kind of level out, and price has been rising with leveling out volume. The crazy part is every time Bitcoin gets in these low vol scenarios, right? I'm trying to get it to where I don't have to see the ridiculous volume over there. Every time we get in these low vol areas, we then get a run, right? And then we come back down, we go to this low vol area again, and then we get a run. And arguably, you know, right now we're in a cool down phase of volume, a low vol area, and that's telling me like, hey, we could probably start to see some kind of ramp up here, some kind of spring move that kind of pushes Bitcoin up again, right, for another rally. And it's pretty much been like clockwork with volume. When volume goes low, price goes high. And that's what I think a lot of people aren't really looking at least for this cycle. That's how it's been. And not only that, like the trading volume right now, and this is important. Now, a lot of people said, oh, well, different exchanges, blah, 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 blah. Bitcoin volume is Bitcoin volume. Doesn't matter if it's on Binance or Coinbase or any of that. One thing I noticed here with volume specifically is if we come all the way down here, for the past 4 months, we've been trading volume at the lowest it's been across the board since we bottomed. This is the lowest trading volume we've been at the high here. Some people see that as bearish. Again, I just made the case for it to actually be more bullish than bearish, is because every low vol area, every valley has been kind of that breakout position for Bitcoin. Every valley has been that breakout position for Bitcoin. This hasn't been too hard of a market to navigate. It's just people are making it harder than it has to be. You get up, right, which is this. Sorry, I'm talking a lot this morning. I haven't been on in a while. You get up, which is this. You get consolidation, then you get up, then you get consolidation, then you get up, and then we're getting consolidation again. That's all this is. Structurally, you're in a bull trend, not a bear trend. That's a bull trend. ETH's been a little bit more tricky, and you know Solana's been a little bit more tricky. Well, I wouldn't say it's really been tricky. It's just been kind of BS, but Solana's just been this sideways monster for like a year and a half. It hasn't really done anything. It's got its high and its lows, and you could trade the volume on both sides of this. Ethereum itself has just been, you know, kind of a shit show as of lately, but I'm hoping, optimistic that will switch up. I think Sully looks very bullish. This was like probably like one of my best calls this year, I'd say, was Sully, because like this trend has been really strong. It's just been a strong uptrend that continues to catch bids, continues to catch interest, and it makes me wonder how much interest is actually in this chain, even though it's not talked about a lot. S&P, I mean, this is a gap right here if I ever saw one. I mean, you got the wicks here kind of filling it, but that's a very strong shift. I think we're going to just start doing this, right, and just start peaking. And this is what I was talking about too, Tommy, before, when I said we're going to get one last blow off top. And we're starting to see that as we speak, like this from here to here, you know, even if we go higher, that's a massive blow off top for SPY as SPY continues shoving like this. And if we get a blow off top, though, there's going to be repercussions of that, right? You can only have price rise so far without profit taking, and there's going to be huge repercussions to that. So SPY is kind of keeping me grounded on being too overly bullish. VIX is in full on just fallout mode. It looks like this was your peak spike, your peak fear, right? And now you're just ready to come all the way back home, right? Whereas home, it's these lows right here that have been established for a very long time. You get your downtrend, your uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. Right now we're in a downtrend, so we gotta come back home. before we can break out for VIX. So that should bring us all the way back down on like 950. You'll get your super bulls typically on these upspring sides, and you get your recessions, your pandemics, so on and so forth. Your black swans typically happen on the way up. And
I could see some sort of I could see some sort of VIX spike in like August, if there is going to be one.
That's what I think too. I'm thinking there's definitely a possibility for an August VIX spike. And that's just something you got to kind of have in your cards on things you got to be looking at. Oil, great indicator too. You basically have had this long downtrend, and this is something I've been adamant about since we were talking about oil in 2023, early 2023. I've just been like, hey, oil's basically in a downtrend because we've had this lower high, lower high, lower high structure. We continued to hold this range. I was expecting the breakdown because why? Because we were getting shoved into the support. And when you start to get shoved into the support, you're going to eventually break that support. And then we got the breakdown right here. Then we got the move back up, the fake out. And then we got the cool down back below support again. And now, do you know what? Do people know what this wick is? Anybody trying to basically short oil got absolutely blown the hell out on that wick. That's all it was. It was a short liquidation wick. They short liquidated and pushed right back below resistance. And now we're pushing up against resistance again. People are probably looking for another short liquidation. I ideally think it's done. I think this right here is your stop, and you're going to roll from here. Come back down. You're going to retest this low. What is this low I'm establishing? Low 1, low 2, ignore, right? Low 3. Why ignore this one? Again, black swan. Black swans happen sometimes in patterns. Yeah, it's a swing fail pattern. Exactly, Parker. That's exactly what it is. The swing fail. You broke into support. Your swing, you're about to fail, and you're going to roll. You're hitting resistance. So that is what it is. Like you got to kind of. I would tell people like, hey, does anyone remember when Ukraine was a big subject when it first happened, and we had the big market shakeout during Ukraine, and then from there it just never came back, right? It never came back to those levels. The market just started gradually just grinding up. People are going to do the same thing with this Iran war. Is they're going to look at it. They're going to see that this black swan that just recently happened with Iran, right? And every time Iran speaks or every time something gets brought up in the news, they're going to think that something's going to happen that's going to cause another drop. The drop has already occurred for the Iran war, in my opinion, right? I'm just going to put it out there like that. So the drop has already occurred. We already saw it. We already talked about it. We already predicted it. Then in that scenario, and I didn't predict war. I just saw something coming based on the charts, right? And since that was predicted, now we just got to look at it like, okay, what do we need to do from here? We need to ignore Iran conversations. There's no point in even entertaining that anymore when it comes to markets, right? However you feel is however you feel. But that all those situations, we got to kind of look at war as like a one instance thing that's going to happen. It's going to create the black swan, and then boom, you're going to shift from that. So for now, I'm looking at oil. Oil's telling me risk on, so I'm looking for risk. That's what I'm doing right now. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
No, I could see maybe like a small move higher out of oil here, but I think it's trending down, throughout the rest of the summer. I agree with you as far as like, I don't think the Iran and the Middle Eastern war, we'll call it, is going to continue to influence the market. I mean, it really didn't move the market that much a week or two ago.
The news came in after the drop.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin had a scary drop that I think people assigned the Middle Eastern war to because it did. It came in at the end of the drop. I think it caused that last leg down. Obviously, altcoins put in some scary moves, but we're progressively seeing it have less and less impact on the market as well. I think you'd need something new to actually drop markets lower. I forgot if it was Tucker or Max. I think it was Tucker. We were having a conversation like last week, or you were talking about it in the Discord call, where it was like the market needs a reason to go down. It clearly does. I mean, you might have conditions in place that are kind of like anecdotal or specific that, could potentially signal the market to come down, but you need an actual reason for the market to go down. And right now there isn't really one. I think I like Wabi's strategy with this as well. I mean, Trump and Bessent have basically been communicating the direction of the market since January, and they still are. So unless that rhetoric changes, I think you have to assume that they're probably going to keep telling you where the market's going, and it's probably going to be accurate.
Here's the thing, too, just to kind of add to this. All I've seen people on Twitter do is look at this trend, and then they go like this, right? And this is the part that people, they just never get it. And they're like, oh, you're in a bear div. You're playing a bear div, right? They're like, market go up, volume or RSI go down. Until structure breaks the mid-range, this downtrend doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. You got to break down from the mid-range. That's where you truly know that this thing's cooked, when you break that mid-range. We've continued to push this same mid-range over and over and over again, right in here.
We did something similar in 2017 on a weekly time frame as well. There were multiple bear days, and then price kept on going up.
Yeah, this is the part where people get things wrong because they're not looking at the actual trend here. They're not looking at support. Yes, there's a bear div playing. Not saying that that's not a case, right? But I'm also seeing more upside potential here because look at this like oil, right? And look at how long oil was able to hold on before it actually broke down, right? Oil was able to hold on for a long time before it actually broke down. And that's what I think is going to happen with markets. I think markets are going to hold on for a bit longer before they actually break down, even if that bear div is going to come into fruition. And that's why you can't be early to bear divs. You got to understand when you're at the squeeze point, which is right in here, right? And you got to understand when you're still on the expansive side. And right now, I'd arguably say we're still on the expansive side, and we could even expand again before we see any type of downside. And that's what a lot of people aren't really looking at, right? The top callers don't make much sense to me because it's with some of these guys on Twitter, at least, it's top calling every week, and then when they get a dip, they say, "See, I told you so."
Since $100 Bitcoin.
This one's strong too. I mean, here's the thing with this: like we called this down here, and arguably, I think the low is in for EL. EL was called at 62 on the flip right here, right? Like people are like, "What's EL? It's a makeup company. Well, why anybody gonna buy makeup?"
I know you're tracking Michael Burry, Dr. Outlook. I know.
I saw him. But look, here's what I played on. I played on. See this right here, Tommy? Look.
It looks like the Netflix chart, kinda. I'm not gonna lie.
What do you see right there?
Volume.
Heavy volume. Now, you want me to give you guys a comparison? I did track on Michael Burry too. I do track him. I track a lot of these guys, and I wonder why, right? And I try to find a story behind it. But if you look here at BTC, look right here. What do you see right here?
Volume. Yeah.
And where did that volume show up?
Is this your new elf play, Dr. Outlook?
This is my new elf play, boys.
OG
I love the
market
makeup companies, man.
no.
When you start to see volume pick up in a downtrend, you're somewhere where you need to be looking, right? You need to be paying attention.
That was just by the way, I think you know it well, but that was also the zero fee on Binance, that down volume, but there was the volume regardless.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you had vol pickup. You're also very bottomed on RSI. So if this thing starts to run
RSI, I'm not even gonna lie,
bro.
That's like one of the most insane RSIs I've ever seen.
It is, man. I'm so bulled up on this, man. Position size, I'm massive. And if this thing runs, I'm gonna make so much money off of this. So much money. This like it's already run, right? We're talking $62 calls. We're currently at 87.93. Like it's going to run, but if this thing runs in the next month or two and hits my 145 target, which is my target, and blows past it, I'm gonna make a bag. And again, I gave this argument too. This is the new meta play, right? That a lot of people missed out on. This V-shaped recovery, and then Just go.
I really like that EL pick, Will. I think the chart looks amazing.
Yeah, this
This
one's a really
is
good one.
exactly the type of charts that I love to buy and acquire. The thing is, I think when I was acquiring SMCI, it looked pretty much very similar at that low.
Yeah. Then you also had stochastic tracking RSI too, Tommy. That was the other signal. If stochastic tracks RSI, low, double low, you're in a good spot for reversal. Really good spot for reversal. Like, this is arguably one of the best setups I've seen across the board in a while. A lot of shit's just like running or hovering well above the 50. This one's so oversold, it's not even funny. Like, the market's going to reprice this for sure. It's going to absolutely reprice this. And that's why I took long dated, because I can sit on these. And if they really want to run this, they'll recover the whole thing. They'll pull a meta. They'll pop this stuff up to like $700-800. Yeah, lots of alpha today.
Well, I like when you come on and you haven't been here for a while, because you don't hold anything back. You know what I mean? It's just an alpha dump the whole time.
Because I'm compiling through the week, man, and then like when I'm able to come on, I can just unload all of it at once. So I'm just compiling, and then I try to tell the whole story of like my thesis and then what I think looks good. This right here looks pretty good too. I'm really liking AMD. I think this is a strong one right here. We had a nice upswing, drop, swing, basically a swing fail, roll, but hold trend, right? Hold bull trend. And then if we can run from here, this thing should break the high if it retests. And if it retests, it's going to run. I don't know what the news is behind AMD. I don't know what that news is, but it's looking pretty good for the way that it's breaking to the upside. Adobe is another one too. I'm really bullish Adobe longer term. Again, it's just Adobe likes these patterns right here. These little pennants, breakout. Now we're back in the same pennant right here. And I'm looking for another breakout. Like, this is a good portfolio hold, in my opinion. I think Adobe's got good growth potential based on the way this chart's set up. And then not only that, like, remember we talked about volume? Mm-hmm. Either Adobe's going to die or it's getting ready to just do its next lifeline, right? One of the two, which means like we're getting to a low point to where this thing could actually really be in a big growth period.
Well, I feel like we're seeing a bunch of tech companies I didn't even expect to be so strong, showing a lot of strength. I'm going to point out one specifically, Oracle. Absolutely nobody's talking about that chart, and the high time frame looks absolutely insane. I think, to me, the most bullish thing when I look at the stock market isn't tech, right? Even though it's been leading the market, it's actually what we're seeing in financials. You know, look at something like JP Morgan stock. That is in price discovery now. And I mean, you have liquidity coming into the market, into the economy. It's only going to increase. It's really, really difficult for me to be bearish on bank stocks here, which, as a byproduct of that, how can I be bearish on the US stock market if bank stocks are as bullish looking as they seem?
Well, didn't Trump got so many bank regulations in the recent year?
I think so. I think JP Morgan's also benefiting from some of these. It's a very obvious like TradFi stablecoin proxy at this point. It's not quite like betting on Circle, obviously, but they've talked about using Ethereum to tokenize assets. There was there was a headline about them wanting to tokenize something specifically this morning even. So I think JP Morgan is a stock that is a very clear-cut setup for me to go higher along with other banks. But I think it's like you said, Jack, we're seeing kind of all of these favorable tailwinds for banks come together, which will be a problem eventually. But I don't think it's a problem right now.
Yeah, it will be. Eventually it will be, but for the next, I think, year 2, maybe 3, it's no. We'll see about the time frame, but right now the market is giving clear indication it wants to trend for a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that look really good on here, man. Like, I just looking across the board. I like the coin ETH comparison. It's one of my favorites, to be honest with you. And if ETH is tracking coin, ETH will break out. If coin is tracking ETH, then it'll break down. But I think at this point, it could be a tailwind. ETH could be following coin. The way structure looks here, it looks really good. I like how we had a breakdown right here. Now we're kind of consolidating the high. I would like to see a break back above trend, just like what we have here on ETH, right? On the coin. If we see ETH get back above trend like we do on coin, that's going to be a strong indication of potential, breakout at that point. And that'll be really good. So we just need to see a recapture of trend here. If we can see that, it's great. You can see right here, like trend is really powerful because if you look here, where did we reject? We rejected perfectly on trend. And now all we got to do is we got to see some kind of recapture of trend. If we can see that recapture, this will look good. I'm liking it. As much as I shit on XRP, and it's because it's hurt me so many times, I will say, all right, it doesn't look bad, man. Like this is like you got the consolidation breakout, you got this winding pattern, breakout, winding pattern, breakout, but now you're kind of hovering above all this what used to be resistance. You're kind of using that as support. And so it makes me think like this might be the move for XRP moving forward. Maybe like a $10 and then a 20.
You sound like Jackass.
Look, you know me. I like to talk shit about XRP, but like it just doesn't seem like it's set up to talk shit about it.
I think when it comes, it's going to be very quick. Like XRP doesn't usually give many chances to hop in. You simply have to get in during the range, and then it just goes very quickly, very fast. And the tough part is sitting on it while it does nothing and knowing that it's near time when it will do something, which I think it is right now again.
Yeah, Doge looks good too. This is a strong uptrend right here. We're holding the uptrend, and this looks like it might ideally be bottom. Doge is a good signal for risk. So we need to see this thing get back above this range right here, this yellow line. If we can get back above 24 cents, Doge could start sending. But if it breaks below this trend, then I'd look for red box at that point. Nvidia, like I didn't even want to read. Like you just buy and it goes up. Is it? I don't need to read the chart on this. Like at some point it's gonna end. I just don't know when. Not something I'd want to chase. I'd go into something else. I think BYD looks interesting. It's got an uptrend. I'm kind of bearish on it a little bit, but just because of this, I don't like this happening when you're in a breakout structure. You don't want to see a lot of volume pick up at a high. You want to see a lot of volume pick up at a low. And so BYD makes me kind of question whether or not this is actually turning bearish. It could just be one of a few stocks. I think most things look bullish, but BYD itself, big spiking at the high. I don't know how to read that. I think that's not a good thing. I think there's a bull div playing here. Yep. Look right here. You got a bull div on NEO. Right? If NEO can continue to hold this, all NEO needs to do from here, this is the only thing NEO needs. It just needs to get above this 50. That's it. That's all it's got to do. If NEO can get above this 50, it can cook, right? But for now, you got a nice downtrend, you got a nice uptrend on volume spike. You need to get above the 50, and then if you get above the 50, this bull div is in play. You're going to run from there. It's going to completely reverse out of this move. So, but again, got to get above the 50, got to get out of this. Again, this is a bull flag, so it's not bad either. So you got a lot of good things playing out for NEO specifically, and you got low vol playing on top of it. So I'd like to see heavy vol. Heavy vol would be really good right there, but that would give me better confirmation. We're just not seeing it right now, though. And then you got these two playing side by side. It's like ping pong between freaking Solana and Pepe, man. This is
getting ready to launch.
Chart. If Pepe launches, Solana launches, because for some reason they have the same damn pattern.
It's time.
It's time.
I didn't mean to run you guys over, but I had a lot to say.
I'm just happy you brought the milk home. We've been waiting a long time for you.
Yeah, happy to have you back, Will.
Oh, I'm always here. Always here. bring it more often.
Well, I do think that brings us into the end of the show. We are at the 85-minute mark. So, Will, any last cooks? Any last cooks before we call it here?
No, I would tell people, like, here, I'll give you guys my quantum computing stocks. Like, keep an eye on these. I think this is very underrated area. I don't think a lot of people are talking about quantum computing. Most of these stocks look very, very bullish and have been bullish. Keep in mind, we get this to Discord really low, these stocks. But I think, like, the quantum computing, look at that breakout area has been very, very good as far as market interest, and I think it's going to be kind of the next wave after AI, because AI will need improved computers. So I would tell people that. I'll leave it there.
Cool. All right, Tommy, are you able to take us out, brother?
Yes, sorry, my back was hurting, so I had to go off camera for a second. But yeah, I mean, today's show had a little bit of everything, guys. I gotta say, we had Will's outlook cooking. We dropped alpha as a panel, and obviously had Chimp Phone on as well. So shout out to all the speakers. If you enjoyed Market Check today, obviously you'll be able to watch a replay if you missed any alpha. But I mean, you guys know we'll be back for another episode, not on Friday, as it will be the 4th of July. Happy birthday, America, in advance. But we are typically live, as you guys know, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now, with a typical start time around 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you enjoyed the show today, make sure to tune in for next time. Of course, as well, I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that we have a new show tomorrow, which is Ape Time. Very much looking forward to introducing you guys to that show. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun, I think, kind of brainstorming how we want it to
Ape time.
how we want it to look, how it's gonna play out. I'm sure we'll feel it out on our end too. But we're very much looking forward to it. And we hope that you guys tune in for that as well, because it will be interactive with you, the audience. So yeah, make sure to tune in to that as well. All times and details linked in the description below, as well as on our X account. But yeah, that concludes today's show, guys. We hope that you enjoyed it. As I always say, thank you again for tuning in. And before we have you run, I'm just going to show you a little clip talking about the BB terminal. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about that as well, which is a reminder, guys, that is your go-to tool for this cycle, whether or not you're an active trader, a long-term investor, but especially if you are an on-chain degen. We've got some really exciting things brewing in the pipeline I can't wait for you guys to see what we've been working on. And yeah, I mean, you're going to get huge utility out of this product, whether or not you're an advanced trader, whether you have experience in the market, or, potentially whether you're just getting started, you're looking for a way to potentially get some edge on your competition. You will find huge utility out of this tool. So make sure to check that out. But thanks again, guys. As always, be back on Monday. And of course, stay safe.
Tired of outdated trading tools, confused charts, dozens of tabs, endless stress? You're not alone. Introducing BB Terminal, your all-in-one command center for crypto trading. Track your portfolio, monitor the markets, stay ahead, all in one place. From chaos to clarity, from struggle to success. BB Terminal,